You're 60 years old, you have joint pain, and you're trying to eat healthy. You eat fruit every day, but sometimes you wonder, am I doing something wrong? Why are some days my pain worse? Scientists asked the same question and conducted research on thousands of people. What they found is quite interesting. Some fruits, in some individuals, under certain conditions, may contribute to joint inflammation. In this video, I'll share what you might want to pay attention to and what alternatives exist. But remember, everyone is different, and this information is not medical advice. You should discuss your own path with your doctor. First, it's important to understand this. After 60, our bodies start working differently in many ways. Kidneys lose about 1% of their filtration capacity each year. The liver slows down in processing foods and substances. The gut microbiome changes, and our reactions to certain foods may differ from our younger years. These changes aren't bad, they're just a natural part of aging. But what this means is that an eating habit that caused no problems at 20 might produce different results at 70. This is exactly where fruit consumption comes into play. Fruits are wonderful foods packed with vitamins, fiber, and antioxidants. However, some of them, especially for seniors with joint issues, can unexpectedly trigger or worsen inflammation. Inflammation is a natural defense mechanism. When there's an injury or infection, the immune system releases inflammatory chemicals. This acute inflammation is necessary for healing. But after 60, many people develop chronic low-grade inflammation, sometimes called silent inflammation. This constant inflammation accumulates in joints, wears down cartilage, and causes pain. Research suggests that certain foods, especially those high in sugar, can fuel this inflammatory process. Now let's get to the fruits that warrant attention. These fruits aren't bad for everyone, but in some people, especially those with joint issues, they may require careful consumption. Let's start with ripe bananas. Bananas are practical, delicious, and rich in potassium. However, after 60, especially very ripe bananas with brown spots become a food with quite high glycemic index values. A ripe banana's glycemic index can go up to 65, meaning it raises your blood sugar rapidly. When blood sugar rises quickly, the body secretes insulin. Repeatedly high insulin levels can cause inflammatory chemicals to increase in the body, which can especially increase sensitivity in joints. In a Boston-based nutrition study, participants over 65 consuming more than one ripe banana per day showed higher inflammation markers. For sensitive individuals, paying attention to the banana's ripeness level might be beneficial. Less ripe, slightly greenish bananas have lower glycemic index. If you love bananas, try consuming them before they fully ripen. Also, portion control is important. Half a banana might be more suitable than a whole one. Observe your own body. Does your joint pain increase after eating a ripe banana? If so, try removing it for a while and see what happens. Always consult your doctor before making dietary changes. Second fruit, grapes. Grapes are sweet, juicy, and contain antioxidants. But they also contain quite high sugar. 100 grams of grapes contains about 16 grams of sugar, and the fiber ratio is very low. This means when you eat grapes, sugar passes into your bloodstream very quickly, leading to blood sugar and insulin fluctuations. Some experts also point to the fructose content of grapes. Excessive fructose consumption, especially in older individuals, has been linked to fat accumulation in the liver and increased inflammatory processes. A 71-year-old retired teacher from Arizona used to eat a large bowl of grapes every afternoon. But her knee pain was getting worse every week. When she reduced grape consumption and switched to lower sugar fruits like blackberries, she felt noticeable relief within a few weeks. If you love grapes, you don't need to quit completely. But control portions. 10 to 15 grapes might be a reasonable portion. Also, consuming them with a handful of almonds can slow sugar absorption. Third fruit group, citrus fruits like oranges and grapefruit. These fruits are very rich in vitamin C and support the immune system. But in some people, especially those with sensitive digestive systems, Citric acid can trigger or worsen joint discomfort. Also, some components of citrus fruits, particularly in grapefruit, can affect drug metabolism. Many seniors use medication for blood pressure or cholesterol. Grapefruit can slow down the breakdown of certain medications in the liver, causing drug levels in the blood to be higher than expected. Researchers report observing improvement in symptoms when some people with inflammatory joint diseases reduced citrus fruits. As a practical suggestion, if you regularly consume citrus and have joint pain, you can try stopping them for 2 weeks and see what happens. If your pain decreases, you might want to reduce consumption or get vitamin C from other sources like red peppers, broccoli, and strawberries. Fourth fruit, overripe or canned pineapple. Pineapple contains bromelain, which may have anti-inflammatory properties. But overripe pineapple contains very high sugar, raising blood sugar rapidly. Canned pineapple usually comes in syrup, meaning extra sugar. Some canned pineapples can contain 25 grams of sugar per 100 grams. Also, bromelain can cause stomach upset in some people, especially in seniors with sensitive gastrointestinal systems. Excessive pineapple consumption can create indigestion or bloating. When the digestive system isn't comfortable, the body is in a general inflammatory state, which can reflect on joints. If you love pineapple, choose fresh and controlled portions. 1 or 2 slices is reasonable. Stay away from canned ones or choose those in their own juice, not syrup. Listen to your body. If you notice stomach upset or increased joint pain after eating pineapple, take a break. Fifth category, dried fruits, especially raisins, dates, and dried figs. The drying process removes water content and concentrates sugar. While a fresh grape contains about 16% sugar, raisins can go up to 65%. When you eat dried fruits, even with a small handful, you're taking in a large amount of sugar. This sugar load raises blood sugar rapidly, triggers insulin response, and can start the inflammation cycle. A 73-year-old retired engineer from Florida used to snack on raisins and dates every evening. He noticed increasing stiffness in his finger joints in the mornings. When he reduced dried fruits and switched to fresh fruits and walnuts, morning stiffness decreased noticeably within 3 weeks. You don't have to avoid dried fruits completely, but portion control is critical. A few pieces occasionally might not be a problem, but daily, large quantity consumption can be risky for those with joint issues. So far, we've talked about fruits that warrant attention, but this doesn't mean you should avoid these fruits entirely. The key is awareness and portion control. Each individual's body gives different reactions. That's why observing your own body and keeping a food diary is very valuable. Now comes the hopeful part. Which fruits might support joint health? Which ones can help reduce inflammation? Here are 5 fruits that some scientists and nutrition experts recommend for seniors with joint issues. First, cherries, especially tart cherries. Cherries are full of powerful antioxidants called anthocyanins. Research shows anthocyanins can reduce inflammatory chemicals. Especially tart cherries can suppress an enzyme called COX-2, which plays a role in inflammation formation. Interestingly, some pain reliever medications also target the same enzyme. In a University of Michigan study, seniors with joint issues given tart cherry juice daily reported reduction in pain and increase in mobility after a few weeks. Regular consumption might provide benefits over time. Cherries also have relatively low glycemic index. If you have joint issues, try a handful of fresh cherries daily or a small glass of tart cherry juice in the morning. Choose pure tart cherry juice without added sugar. Second beneficial fruit, blueberries. Blueberries rank at the top in antioxidant capacity. They contain high anthocyanins and are rich in vitamin C, fiber, and manganese. Research shows blueberry consumption protects cognitive functions and reduces inflammation in older individuals. In a Tufts University study, individuals over 65 eating 1 bowl of blueberries daily showed decrease in inflammation markers. Especially C-reactive protein, a common inflammation indicator, decreased significantly. Blueberries are also low in calories, with one bowl containing only 80 to 90 calories. Blueberries can be found fresh or frozen. Frozen blueberries are perfect additions to smoothies or yogurt, or sprinkle them over your morning oatmeal. Regular consumption can support joint comfort over time. Third, avocado. Avocado is technically a fruit and is rich in healthy monounsaturated fats. It also contains vitamin E, magnesium, and potassium. Magnesium is important for muscle and nerve function, and many seniors experience magnesium deficiency. Insufficient magnesium can contribute to muscle cramps and joint stiffness. The fats in avocado help reduce inflammation. Especially oleic acid, an omega-9 fatty acid, supports heart and joint health. Also, avocado increases absorption of fat-soluble vitamins in other foods. Some research shows extracts from avocado and soybean oils may help protect joint cartilage. Half an avocado daily is a reasonable amount. Add to salad, eat alongside eggs, or spread on whole grain bread. Fourth fruit, blackberries and raspberries. These fruits contain high antioxidants, especially components like ellagic acid and quercetin that are effective in reducing inflammation. They're also very rich in fiber. One bowl of blackberries can contain about 8 grams of fiber, which supports digestive health and balances blood sugar. Blackberries and raspberries are low glycemic index fruits, meaning they raise blood sugar slowly. They're also rich in vitamin C, necessary for collagen production. In a Swedish long-term study, individuals regularly consuming these berries had lower risk of joint issues. One handful daily is sufficient. Add to yogurt, oatmeal, or smoothies, or eat as an afternoon snack. Fifth beneficial fruit, papaya. Papaya is a tropical fruit that contains an enzyme called papain. Papain helps digest protein. When the digestive system works healthily, the body's general inflammation level decreases. Papaya is also rich in vitamin C and beta-carotene. Some research shows papain may have direct anti-inflammatory effects, especially in reducing soft tissue inflammation. Papaya also soothes digestion, which is indirectly linked to joint health. There's a strong relationship between gut health and inflammation. You can eat papaya fresh. Ripe papaya has a sweet and creamy texture. One slice daily is sufficient. Now let's bring all this information together. Joint health isn't achieved with a single food. Your overall eating pattern, lifestyle, physical activity, and genetic factors all play roles. But the fruit choices you pay attention to can make a meaningful difference. Moving away from high sugar, quickly absorbed fruits toward low glycemic index, antioxidant-rich fruits can help keep inflammation under control. As practical steps, keep a food diary for 1 week. Note which fruits you eat when and whether there's any change in your joint pain later. This helps you see your personal patterns. If you consistently notice pain increase after a particular fruit, eliminate it for 2 weeks and observe the result. Learn to control portions. 1 portion usually means 1 small apple, 1 handful of grapes, or half a cup of sliced fruit. Combine your fruits with protein or healthy fat. For example, if eating cherries, have almonds alongside. This slows sugar absorption. Pay attention to variety. Instead of eating the same fruit every day, rotate. Prefer seasonal fruits. Increase your water intake. When you eat fruit, especially those high in fiber, drinking plenty of water is important. Water aids digestion and helps the body eliminate toxins. Don't forget physical activity. Nutrition is important but not sufficient alone. Regular light exercise maintains joint flexibility and reduces inflammation. Walking, gentle yoga, or water exercise are joint-friendly options. Stress management also affects joint health. Deep breathing, meditation, or hobbies can reduce stress. Sleep quality shouldn't be overlooked either. Insufficient sleep increases inflammation. Aim for 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep nightly. Remember, all these suggestions are general guidelines. Everyone's body is different. Especially if you have a chronic condition or use regular medication, talking to your doctor about dietary changes is important. Some medications can interact with fruit consumption. If you use blood thinners, some fruits high in vitamin K require attention. If you use diabetes medications, fruit consumption can affect your blood sugar. Working with your doctor, you can determine safe portions and timing. Let's address common questions. Many wonder, is drinking fruit juice the same as eating fresh fruit? Short answer, no. Fruit juice loses most fiber and sugar concentration increases. 1 glass of orange juice can contain the sugar of 3 to 4 oranges, but no fiber. Eating fresh fruit provides slower absorption thanks to fiber. Is frozen fruit as good as fresh? Yes, generally. Frozen fruits are frozen at peak ripeness, and their nutritional values are largely preserved. What's important is to buy pure frozen fruit without added sugar. Is making smoothies healthy? Smoothies can be healthy when made correctly. Don't put too much fruit. 1 to 2 portions are enough. Add protein like Greek yogurt, healthy fat like chia seeds, and leafy greens like spinach. This way, the smoothie becomes a balanced meal or snack. Here's a sample day. Breakfast: oatmeal topped with half a cup of blueberries and walnuts. Mid-morning snack: a small handful of cherries. Lunch: large green salad topped with half a sliced avocado. Afternoon snack: handful of blackberries with almonds. Dinner: alongside your main meal, a slice of papaya or half cup of cherries. This example provides 3 to 4 portions of fruit daily, all low glycemic index and rich in antioxidants. There's variety, so you're getting different nutrients. Of course, everyone's routine is different. What's important is listening to your own body and adjusting according to your needs. Finally, your mental approach is important. Nutrition isn't discipline, it's taking good care of yourself. Instead of punishing yourself, focus on choosing things that make your body feel best. If you eat too many grapes one day, don't feel guilty. Make more conscious choices the next day. Nutrition is a long-term journey. Joint health is the sum of many factors. Genetics, age, past injuries, general health status, activity level, and nutrition all play roles. Fruit choices are one part of this whole. But with careful choices, you can contribute to reducing inflammation, protecting cartilage, and improving your overall quality of life. Remember, science is constantly evolving. Some things we know as correct today might change tomorrow with new research. So stay open to current information. Basic principles are simple: natural, minimally processed, varied, and balanced. These principles apply to both joint health and general health. Now I want to ask you 2 questions. First, which of the fruits mentioned in this video do you regularly consume? Second, have you ever noticed a connection between your joint pain and a specific fruit? Share in the comments. Your experiences can inspire others, and we continue learning together. If this video taught you something new, please don't forget to like. Likes help this content reach more people. Also, share with friends or loved ones who have joint issues. Maybe it can be helpful for them too. And if you haven't subscribed yet, consider subscribing and turning on the notification bell. We regularly share scientific information that will help older individuals live healthy, strong, and comfortable lives. Health is our most valuable asset, and protecting it starts with making small, conscious choices every day. Decisions that seem simple, like which fruits you'll eat, can make a big difference in the long run. Take good care of yourself, listen to your body, and remember, everyone is different. Finding what's best for you is a journey of discovery. Be patient, stay curious, and continue being healthy. See you in the next video. Wishing you healthy days.